You don't have to.
All right.
It was surprising though getting the news for for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, it happened 15 minutes before my video, our Hangout was gonna go live.
Yeah, that was incredibly wild timing.
Yeah, so
So
we were
Did the Terry Funk passing, is that what prompted to do the
no, not even. What prompted to do the Hangout last night was
just how much
AEW
we
All In.
talked, yeah, this is how much we were talking about All In, right?
Yeah, it was all about All In because All In's considered to be the biggest wrestling event of all time. Um,
Considered by who?
by everyone. So the ticket sales are over 80,000 fans. So that is the largest ticket number in wrestling history.
That beats like the biggest WrestleMania.
Yep, it beats the biggest
That's cool.
WrestleMania because what they did in WWE, and they all do this. Don't it's not just a WWE thing, but what they all do is they fabricate the numbers to make it look like a larger event than it really was. But in AEW's side here, to their defense for this one, it's about the sales. They're counting the sales. They're not counting the concessions. They're not counting the ushers. They're not counting the security guards. So we're talking about 80,000 fans in attendance, and that is considered to be the largest of all time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the largest attendance for a wrestling show was back in I don't want to say it was definitely in North Korea. Um, and that was close to
Jesus.
300,000 people.
Who hosted a wrestling event in North Korea? Did Kim Jong-un
It
do it?
was a WCW New Japan. So it was before WCW was like NWO WCW, but it was 300,000 people in attendance. Those numbers those numbers are a tad skewed because
Tad.
they were, yeah, I'll tell you why in a second. It was forced attendance by the country. So people were there that had no business to be there. They were there because they
You
were
couldn't get
told.
any gas pump that day.
No,
You couldn't go buy a bottle of water from
they
the
literally
market
told the
that
entire
day.
they told the entire country you have to watch wrestling. That's what they did, and they did. They watched wrestling, and that was 300,000. So they don't count that number. Um, but I'm just imagine what the parking situation must be like for 300,000 people.
Golly, they probably made them migrate. We're
Yeah,
gonna
so
need everybody in the northern part of North Korea to leave on Thursday to arrive on Saturday.
you know what I'm saying? People were
You're
camping
traveling
out.
by wagon.
Yeah, but that's considered the largest attendance. Now, the other one I think was WrestleMania. I don't know off the top of my head, but that one they recorded 100,000. But like I said, that was the concession people. That was the security guards. They literally
I wonder how
counted.
many people make up staff like that? Like what
Yeah.
is like the average number of
Mhm.
the margin of staff? I mean,
Yeah.
are you talking like the parking attendants and everything?
Anybody that was actually in the building was counted.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So even the wrestlers, I think, were counted. It's like you, your number. Yeah. So yeah, just like DVH is saying, the North Korea show just doesn't count. Like in pure volume, North Korea beats it, and I don't think there'll ever be anything like it. But you can't you don't count that
How
attendance.
long ago was that?
This, like I said, this was like early '90s or late '80s. I want to say off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Maybe DVH remembers. Yeah, WrestleMania 32 was the biggest.
So
That one,
I don't know, man. I think I gotta. This sounds weird. I gotta give it to the Korean show though. Like I don't I don't care if they were forced or not. They were there though, right?
yeah, they were there. That they were there.
What about those shows that those WrestleMania shows that you see that are put on? God, where are they put on? They're like over there in Saudi Arabia or something.
That's a little bit of the same thing. So I think there is some that's forced.
Cause I've
So
seen
Saudi Arabia,
some of these footages from these things like where they're it's like an outside venue looking thing almost because it's so big and there's no roof on the Coliseum kind of
yeah.
thing.
Well, those are
Like
funny because
the ring looks this big in the
yeah,
middle
those are
over
funny
there.
because the Saudi Arabia shows make me laugh when I watch it because there's clearly statesmen there, and they're like, instead of having your traditional chairs or something, they're like sofas. They're sitting on sofas and couches, and you could tell that they're not into it.
Planning. That's all that is. That's just
Yeah.
good planning.
So yeah, I know, right? They're sitting there. You could see them. You see them watching it. You could tell they're not into it, but you see their families are into it. You know, like the kids, the wives that are there. You see them, like, yeah, but yet you see these guys. They're like,
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, 95. Thank you. I knew it was in the somewhere. So that was the WCW joint event with New Japan. So it was kind of like a Forbidden Door back in the day.
Forbidden Door, that last one was insane.
Oh, I was praising the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. I knew that was going to be the match stealer of the day. I was like, that's going to be the match people are sleeping on, and that should be the match of the year. That's my candidate for match of the year.
Yeah, so, it was wild.
So I'm still looking forward to this Sunday. I don't know,
I like this. And Becker and me were talking, and like I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner, but I'm liking the fact that it's in the afternoon. It's not at night.
Well, that's because it's in Europe.
Yeah,
so it's night for them.
Yeah,
so I think the show's starting at 6.
Like, normally, like these things don't start till I'm already thinking about like getting in bed on time, kind of thing.
Oh no, I'll watch them if they start. They usually start now at like 8:00, and these wrestling events go to like 12 midnight or something like that. And
I'm this commercial. I'm in. All on YouTube, my man. Yeah. For those that don't know, I don't set any of the ads on my channel. YouTube's going to run what they're going to run, and like I guess like you can't really do it with a live stream, but if you you can go in and you can move where the ads.
Yeah, you can move afterwards. Yeah.
Like I don't know how many they run on like a normal recorded upload, just in that time frame of a video. I guess
I don't even know
about it to try to be helpful because they're going to make you watch them. Period. I don't watch them. I haven't seen an ad since Red days because I pay for YouTube.
Same.
I did that forever ago.
I pay for my YouTube because first of all I hate ads. Second of all, I got it because of Cobra Kai originally.
Back in the day, yep. I remember the YouTube originals. They were doing all kinds of wild stuff. Like they had a lot of music stuff as well. But they were trying to.
Yeah, they have their own form. Yeah, because I still have YouTube Music as part of that package. I'm more into Spotify and stuff like that, but their YouTube Music is pretty good. I just don't like the fact that they added like. Because it's YouTube, when the music comes, there's also kind of a music video if it's associated with the song.
But you don't have to watch me. There's a button that slides that goes that says music or
yeah, but I don't pay attention to it. I just plug it in and play.
Yeah, if you just, but it also changes the sound quality. So like if you have it with the video playing, whatever reason, it's not the same recording as like just the audio file upload. And the audio file, just the regular, just straight audio, the sound quality is noticeably better. Just because I mean that's probably normal.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a smaller file, so it'll be easier for it to transfer, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Chicago, Chelsea. Hope you feel better, man. In the hospital, man. Since Sunday, man. Whew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mike said he's got to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about Ahsoka? Watch the first episode and have some thoughts. We can definitely talk about.
We could talk about it. I saw the first episode. I didn't see the second episode.
Well, that's good.
Man,
Mike hasn't either.
That first episode was something. I'll give it that much. I definitely enjoyed it. Being someone that is not, I like Star Wars, but I'm not into the lore like many people are. So I'm a very casual Star Wars person, and it was good. That opening scene with her felt like her doing Guardians of the Galaxy in some weird way. She's in the temple and she gets the orb. I was just waiting for Star-Lord to just jump in and start dancing with his music.
But
You know what I mean?
I gotta tell you this. This, like I'm very hesitant to get excited about Star Wars stuff. I love Star Wars. I
Mhm.
love the original ones. I love the prequels. Like there's even like I don't. Dude, I even had so much fun watching that terrible last one. It just I don't know it was just fan service stuff. At least trying to be, but it was bad. Like the sequels were just bad. And then I love Rogue One.
Rogue One is great.
Solo was just a boring movie.
Mhm.
I love The Mandalorian season 1 and 2, 3 crap to bed. Thought Obi
I
Wan was
enjoyed
so good.
Andor. Andor was good to me.
Andor I gave up on right when apparently it got good. Everyone says it gets good if you suffer through the terribleness, but I thought this was really good. Like I enjoyed episode 1 and 2 a lot. But what got me is like they did it right. They started it with a Kroll. They started it with a
Yeah, I saw it too. I was like, oh, Kroll.
then we cut to a starship moving through. I'm like, yo, this feels like Star Wars off the bat. Like they have the formula, they have the correct soundtrack going
Yeah.
with it, the music, the
Mhm.
introduction to Balin was really cool, and I thought the first one was good. The only complaint at all I have about the first episode is the little lightsaber fight with Sabine and that girl at the end was a little clunky. It was watching a ladies match at AEW. Like a little clunky. That's not a big deal. It's something I noticed, but doesn't take away from it. But
Well, I'm not sure
the
about.
intro was absolutely ridiculous, though.
Yeah, I'm
Like
not
I was
sure what's the
crazy with
intro.
the anime, K-pop,
Mhm.
Japanese pop music blaring while she's driving their motorcycle forever. Like, yo, we just went from like a classic Star Wars tones and
Mhm.
everything to K like yeah, that's almost borderline racist. Like you think you have to play like Japanese K-pop music just because she's Asian? Like, dude,
Yeah,
this is Star Wars. This isn't our world. This is the Star Wars world. Get back to the Star Wars music.
yeah.
It was weird.
It was weird because you don't normally hear, whether it's K-pop or you normally don't hear music like that in any parts of Star Wars, regardless of the gender or diversity of the characters or anything like that. It doesn't exist. In Star Wars, there's a specific sound, whether they're in the bar, whether they're in spaceships and things like that. It's just yeah. It just has a sound, and not to say that you did that bike scene, and I'm changing with that music.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I will say,
That's what getting drinks with your boys is supposed to sound like.
well, they're just shooting at each other, right? So that the music kind of threw me off, but her on the bike and she goes underneath the ship. That was pretty cool. That was pretty badass.
Yeah,
I
and
like her
I was like
character as
you
well.
kind of compared that opening to Guardians. Like, didn't that make you feel like I felt like I was watching J.J. Abrams' Star Trek when it was introducing Kirk for the first time and he's riding off on his stepdad's motorcycle.
All I'm picturing is like I'm waiting for Star-Lord to show up. Is like that's mine, please. You know what I mean?
It says that Sabine isn't a Jedi. Like, I didn't watch Rebels, but just from the show, it sounded like Sabine was an ex-apprentice of Ahsoka.
Mhm.
What's up with that? What's up with
So
Jedi?
according to what Josh has mentioned, Sabine, they were like a ragtag group. So they were close, and I think it was Ahsoka who kind of did the breaking off of it. So obviously that character that they're searching for, which is Ezra, he's another character. He's one of those characters from Rebels as well that everybody keeps talking. And then the search for Ezra.
Bridges.
Yeah, the search for Ezra is that's what they want. So that's how it brought them back together, even though you could clearly see they're not back together. I'm just more curious about Ahsoka's character. How she's always has this a way of like abandoning people, it looks like, based on what I gathered from those conversations. And I'm trying to remember anything else that was mentioned about it, but Sabine Wren, she was definitely, her and Ezra really close, not close in like in a romantic relationship, but more like a brother and sister thing, as he even says it when she was able to hear him send the message out. I'm curious to see how that works, even though, like I said, I didn't see the second episode. So the end of episode 1, it didn't look like it ended well for Sabine.
She's fine.
Yeah, I figured that part because she gets a haircut.
Sabine's fine. They kind of just all convene and talk about how they have the map, and the map gets taken. It's just a racing each other to get the map kind of thing. And the little witch lady that everyone keeps talking about from Rebels puts the map into these old ruins, which is a pretty cool scene. And it opens up like you've seen Prometheus, how they turn on the map of the universe. And what it does is it introduces the idea like, oh, that's where Thrawn is. He's in this other galaxy far, far away, which is a new concept for Star Wars. There being a separate, going to separate galaxies kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's the race to Thrawn. It's just the race to Thrawn.
Yeah, he was rumored to be dead, and now he's popping back.
The end of the second episode apparently ended with some kind of homage recreation of Sabine like touching the wall where her and her friends are all painted on it, and cutting her long hair to make it short, and now they're all heading, good guys, bad guys, heading to the same place, Yeah.
So to Digger Jim, the guy playing Balin, that's Ray Stevenson. You might know him from a little movie called Punisher Warzone. He played the Punisher. He was also in Thor. He was Volgastad in Thor.
Volstagg.
Volgastad. I always get his name funny.
He was the Irishman and Kill the Irishman.
Yep. He's been around. He's been around. He passed away.
He's been in tons of stuff.
Yeah, he passed away about a few months ago now. Complete surprise to everybody as well. But now, he did manage to shoot his scenes before he passed away. So we have him throughout the entire season.
And we get introduced in the second one to this skinny, Sith-looking person with a helmet on that looks like a blend of like Kylo Ren and an old English knight, and he has an Inquisitor's weapon. Oh man, I already forgot his name. Apparently, the name of this character is the name of some bounty hunter's dog from Rebels. Begins with an M. Becker will type it in the chat in a second.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, he was. Yes, sir. So how was Jersey Boys? The pageantry was amazing. Oh my God.
What do you think about the girl playing Sabine Wren? What do you think about her? I like her.
Seems fun.
Also, you got Elizabeth Winston.
She's the green chick, right?
She's the green chick, man. Tom Cruise's current wife, I think it is. Or no, she's married to. No, it's not. It's not Tom Cruise. She's married to somebody else. I'm trying to figure out who she's. Ewan McGregor. Why am I saying Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise is married to the game.
Yeah, she's married
to the game, and
she's married to Ewan McGregor. She's
There it is. That's the name of the Jedi character that popped up, or the Sith character that popped up at the end.
Merkel.
But that's not right. That's right, but that's not right.
I know. Marnico? Something like that?
No. Ahsoka Sith episode 2. It's the name of that dude's dog, whatever it is.
Yeah. You got David Tennant, who's playing the voice of the robot. So
Robot's all right.
Yeah, the robot.
It's
a typical droid, right? Like they always have to have like some sarcastic droid in every episode of Star Wars shows. I've noticed.
It's going to be hard to top the droid from Rogue One. That droid was fantastic.
Well, the one that was in the first season of Mandalorian, he was cool too. That was played by Taika Waititi. I like
IG-8 or IG-11.
Yeah, IG-11. I like that droid. I thought he was cool. That was a good droid.
That's the dude. He's got one of the Inquisitors. He's got like an Inquisitor style weapon. But it looks like a lightsaber with a large spiky hilt, and then it can create a second one. I haven't seen it. It's not like it's a full circle he's holding. It's like a half circle he's holding. And I haven't seen him spin it yet.
So the way you beat him is like you just give him a wet willy. Can't see that.
He'll never see it coming.
You just never see it coming, right? You just need to defeat him, give him a wet willy. those helmets, man.
Yeah, the aesthetics look fine. There's a couple of splotchy CGI scenes that, for the most part, I think the CGI for all the Star Wars stuff looks incredibly good. Incredibly good. There's some of it where you're like, yeah, they're standing in front of a cheap green screen, but I don't know. I think the Star Wars visuals always look really good.
Yeah, I think they do. If you look at some of these Netflix movies that have been coming out, you could clearly see that they're in front of a green screen, like that new John Cena movie, the new Gal Gadot movie. Yeah. Like they're in a screen, they're in front of a green screen.
Brings up a really good point. Sith, Jedi, labels are meaningless. What matters is what you do, and Sabine is the greatest force for good in the galaxy. The graffiti. She was swinging that lightsaber like a paint can. I did like that Clancy Brown.
Yes.
Lieutenant Zim, who ended the war against the bugs on Klendathu when he captured the brain bug. He was in the show. I like Clancy Brown.
So my wife pointed out to me that Clancy Brown is the voice of Krusty Krabs.
Yeah, he's Krusty Krab from SpongeBob.
Yeah, I did not know that. I know him as Lex Luthor more than anything.
Title Tuesday and a Rampage taping. Oh, nice. Is that like Battle of the Belts on a Tuesday?
I rarely watch Battle of the Belts. It doesn't matter. I am going to Grand Slam this year.
Kenny B is in the building. Good morning, Kenny B. Dude, it's picture day for Finn today. I'm just waiting to get in trouble.
Today is my daughter's first day of college. She's a little nervous, but she's on her way to college. First day of college.
I would ask where she's going, but that's not the internet's business.
So she's going to a college in New York.
That's already too specific. Chill out, Izzy.
Well, it's not as specific with all the colleges in New York.
Is there more than 13 or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's more than 13 in one borough. That's that. So
ITT Technical College.
Yeah. She ain't no tech.
I appreciate that, Becker. You know I'll be there in spirit. Don't forget my face cut out to put on the seat.
There you go. You gotta pay that ticket though.
Yo, tell me you're reading Big Game.
Of course I'm reading Big Game. I read Big Game. I love it, man. I am amazed at what Miller did in issue 2. Mm-hmm. Amazed what he did.
I'm extremely nervous about what he did at the end of issue 2.
Yeah.
I'm like legitimately nervous for the issue 3.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I thought it was pretty interesting the how the story unfolded, that the villains killed off all the heroes in like 87 or something like that.
Yeah. Which one?
And then he killed them all off, and then from there they managed to mind wipe everybody in the world. So that was crazy to hear. But now that they're starting to come back up, the villains are now saying we got to kind of like put it right back there. Yeah, exactly. But Big Game is, I'm enjoying it. I love Miller's stuff. I always did. I'm a huge Nemesis fan. I love Nemesis. The ambassadors were cool, and man, if you don't don't be too much of a fan of the ambassadors. That's all I gotta say about that, guys. But overall, I'm enjoying Big Game. I'm excited to see more. I'm excited to read more Big Game. What they're planning, what he's planning to do. Pepe Larraz's artwork is amazing. It's fantastic. So if you guys haven't checked out Big Game, go check out Big Game, because it's probably one of the best stories out there right now, especially from Image Comics. So go check that out. Yeah, like Beckerman says, man, it is a roller coaster of a ride. Right from the very beginning when it gets started. If you read Nemesis, you know that Nemesis kind of leads up to it. Ambassadors leads up to it, and it's a crossover event within the Miller world. So the idea is to bring every character Miller ever created into this storyline, and he seems to be doing it in justice. One, because he knows his characters, and two, it's still a large group of characters that he's putting it into, and it manages to like put them in places that they need to be. The only character right now that hasn't seen much action that I'm going to say is Superior. But he does show up a little bit in this issue, so you might want to. It's a blink and you miss a moment for Superior, but you guys got to check out Big Game. You got to read Big Game. It's awesome. So go check it out. Yeah, I'm afraid for Paul too. That's right. Yeah, I'm afraid, Paul. So definitely check it out. This weekend is All In. I'm excited for All In. All In is going to be great. You got to go check it out. It's going to happen this Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, because it's going to be filmed. It's going to be recorded live from the UK. So I believe they start at 6 o'clock. I think DVH is going to that. DVH, I hope you give me some footage from the show, man. I would love to see it. So if DVH, if you're still there, go check it out. Love to. Remy Q is in the back room. Let's get him in. Where are you at? Look at Remy.
What's going on, everybody? Remy Q back in the building, back in effect, and back on another community hangout with Legion of Comics. Check it out. Peace.
Yeah. Trying to keep the alive.
You got a Remy Q cameo.
Yeah, since he's switched over jobs, so now it only allots him cameos.
We should start putting that little cameo logo in the corner for him whenever he pops up, and just have like a cameo thing and stuff.
That'd be solid. That'd be solid.
Yeah, that would be. So yes. So as far as Big Game goes, do you think Miller's doing a good job bringing all the characters together so far?
They're there. They're definitely there.
They're there. Like the only one that has like a blink and you miss, like a Remy moment right now, was Superior.
See, that's what I was talking to DJ and Rob last night. You're talking about the opening scene of issue 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
so
just flying in.
They're like DJ's like, that was Superman. I'm like, no, it's not Superman. I mean, they're homaging Superman, but that's
More
what
like Shazam.
That's what he did. No, it's definitely homaging Superman. You get the phone booth, you get the Daily
Planet.
Planet.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, dude, but Miller doesn't use any known characters. He uses his versions of them, which is intentionally homaging them. And I even showed him in the back of this. I'm like, yo, it's Superior.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't read Superior, so I wasn't like, oh, they're Superior. I just had to try to like figure it out from the Miller clues. But yeah, we had the Chrononauts, the Ambassadors, one for the homies.
Yeah, Superior is more like a Shazam character because he's the kid. So he's the typical kid becomes superhero thing. That's the prototype with Superior. So you got that Shazam vibe, but yeah, the phone booth thing when they travel back in time, but then when they come back, man, they should have just stayed there.
Yeah, I haven't read the Chrononauts either, but I did see that Sean Gordon Murphy did the art for that one.
Yeah.
I picked up Jupiter Circle. Like I'm excited to read the Jupiter's Legacy stuff, and that's like going to be the only big thing that he did that's not going to get brought into this. They're not going to, because that would mess up the continuity of this. But the whole
either way, I think he's going to try something. I know the next issue we're going to see the like Evil Sane nightclub is going to be there. So nightclub characters.
He put the Utopian on the B or C cover for issue 1. Frank Quitely did a Utopian cover, and they're on the very first page of issue 1. Somebody's watching Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. So I think that's going to be the only capacity
connection.
Yeah, that Jupiter's Legacy, because if you introduce Jupiter's Legacy, it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, there's too many characters of high caliber that can actually shut this down. Too many actual supers, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to bring him in at all.
He's interesting like that. If he could find a way to bring him in, I'm almost certain he'll bring him in.
Well, I'm about to have to go get these kids ready. It's picture day and stuff, so we're going to cut this short, and I might do a part 2 of this after I get the kids to school.
Yeah.
Well, let me hop off here, man.
Cool, man. All right, guys. Let me let you guys go. If anything, hit me up, and we'll jump back in.
Yeah, I'll end up doing a part 2 of this in about an hour after I get them to school.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Peace.